welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a little bit since I uploaded a video. I just haven't been doing very much stuff other than working recently. So Taylor and I are gonna run a few errands today. And so I wanted to do some makeup just to start the day right. She made breakfast. It was a awesome healthy breakfast. We had like veggie omelets and wheat toast and orange juice. So starting the day off right. So I don't have a ton of makeup yet. I'm still growing my collection. But I have had a few of my friends comment on my makeup recently. And I basically only do like one look. Like I have a really hard time like varying from that. So I'm just gonna film that one to start out with. So now, there's a hair on me. Oh, found it. I'm gonna start with some primer. All I use for primer is these stupid little samples because I am such a stickler about money. I like to use it pretty much on the outer parts of my face. And then I use the POREfessional on the T-zone because it just helps me not get so oily in those places. And it really does work to shrink your pores. I really stand by this primer. This one. Everybody loves it. Everybody uses it. If you don't, try it because it's really, really good. It's like super thick. I don't know if you can see that. It's way thicker than I thought it was going to be when I first used it, but I actually really, really love it. Just put it in that T-zone there. After I prime, I like to like give it a few minutes to like get kind of soaked in and kind of tacky. No, I didn't wet the sponge. I don't use a beauty blender. I use the Eco Tools sponge. It gets super, super soft whenever it's wet and squeezed out, and I love it. So, because I just can't be bothered to pay $20 for a sponge. So, sorry. I'm sure they're great, but I'm cheap. Be right back. I've been using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow recently because I don't really love the matte look. I love it on other people, but not on myself. I just think it makes me look kind of dry and kind of dead. I was using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and I really, really enjoyed it, but it just kind of made my skin a little dry. The color might be a little off because I've been in the sun a lot recently and I've been getting tanner and tanner. Just drag it down the neck. Good enough. Now, for concealer, I'm using the Age Rewind concealer that everyone's in love with. Maybe it's old news, I don't know, but I love it. So I don't use a ton of concealer. I just like to put a tad right there, and then I drag it out when I blend. I like some on the nose, on my forehead, just in the center, because we're gonna contour all of this. And on my chin, about like a little in the smile lines. And then I like to go ahead and just create some brightness right under my cheekbones. See, I'm just dragging it out. And I don't know if you could tell, but I didn't put foundation like right in there, like in this area, because I don't want it to be too much makeup there, because then it could get kind of cakey later on. So. And I love this Eco Tools sponge because it has this flat edge, so you can really like get right in there. And if you turn it, you can really get in that corner as well with one of these little things. You can get in your inner corner really, really well. I am still pretty much a beginner at makeup, I would call myself. Everything I know, I learned from my sister and YouTube. I love Laura Lee and Jeffree Star and Manny MUA. I'm obsessed. Like, I watch them like it's my religion. And so, all that I know is from them and my sister. My sister is bomb at makeup. I'll put a picture of her up right here.
Oh, yes, girl!
I really like the way this concealer works with this foundation. I don't think it looks cakey or it doesn't break apart the foundation, and looks good. Looks good, honey, looks good. After concealer, I like to go ahead and set that. For my powder, I use the Eco Tools, just really fluffy. I think it's like a powder blush brush, whatever. As I said, I'm still building up my collection, and I am a server, so it's gonna take some time. I kind of just like to pat it in at first, just so I can really get in those nooks and crannies there. Oh, and I'm using the NYX No Filter finishing powder. I like it. It looks like this. Works just fine. I haven't tried like a loose setting powder yet, but I really want to try I think it's called the Airspun loose setting powder. It's like a drugstore powder, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna start with that whenever I try loose setting powders, because I've heard that it's really good and affordable. And your girl loves affordable stuff. It's just really hard for me to justify spending like a ton of money on something when I can spend like less for almost the same product, you know what I mean? If it's gonna do the same thing, I'll pay less. Okay, so I just set where my concealer is, where I put my concealer. Now I'm gonna use my contour powder to set my cheekbones. And I've been using, this is filthy, so I'm not even gonna show it, you can look it up. It's the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. My sister gave it to me, it has been loved. So the BH Cosmetics brush, it looks like this. It's the 117 brush. Woo! Blend her on up. This is almost more of like a bronzing shade on my skin tone, I feel like. But I'm not mad at it. This brush is like super dense. I wish it was a little bit fluffier, but it's working. She's working. And I like how I kind of like how it is dense though, because it has this edge here, and like it's a really sharp edge on this brush, and I feel like I can really like, you know what I'm saying? She's cute, she's cute. One thing that I have found that I have been doing like that's not so cute is like I tend to, for some reason, bring my contour down a little too far. I feel like I could just, like this side I feel like is a little bit lower than this one, which is fine because I'll add some lightening powder under here to kind of lift that, but I think it looks better a little bit higher up because it kind of lifts my cheekbones up. So we're learning as we go, which is what everyone's doing, even the pros. I'm gonna move on to some blush. For that, I do like to use one of these BH Cosmetics brushes. It's the 114 brush. It looks like this. It is quite softer than the one I used to contour with, the 117. It looks similar in shape, but it's just quite a bit fluffier there, so I like it a lot. I have this Victoria's Secret Crush perfume, and like, it smells so freaking good. Every time I like pass it or like see it, I have to put some on. I don't know, I'm crazy about it. It smells so good. This is the Makeup Revolution blush palette. I don't know, my sister gave it to me. Like all my makeup is from my sister. And like I said, I'm such a stickler about money that like I just can't bring myself to buy anything else. Now, eyebrows. Yeah. I like that. Works for me. Now, I'm gonna start the eye look. First, I need to prime my eyelids. I've been using the Ulta eye primer in Nude Matte, and I really, really like it. Ooh, I love it. It's like thicker than I expected it to be. Like literally, it's like almost hard to squeeze out of the tube. I don't know if you can be able to see it. Like, I know it looked really weird, but it's really, really thick. That's what I'm getting at. And I like to tap it in to the crease, like where it would crease up, to kind of just pat it in there, and then I kind of just rub it around. And I think that it makes for like a really nice base color as well. Of course, I'm gonna set it with some just with a very neutral shade. I'm gonna go in with Tempera, as I said, this white shade right here. I have been loving this palette. I've hit pan a couple times, so. Subculture, I am so freaking hyped for. I think I'm actually gonna spend the money on it. Like, I know it's so unlike me, but I think I'm actually gonna buy it, you guys. Then, so I have a really nice clean base now, I feel like. So I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna mix a little bit of raw sienna and burnt orange. Just tap off the excess and just throw that in my crease as my kind of all over transition shade. Circular motions on the outside, like on this outer corner here. And then when I go through the crease like that, I just use back and forth motions. And I am taking it a little bit higher than my crease. As you can see, my crease is like here, but the eyeshadow stops like up here. That is going to kind of lift the eye and give, I feel like it's gonna give more of a space for anything that I put lower in the crease, any darker shade that I put lower. It's gonna give it more space to blend out seamlessly. So I wanna do like a nice orangey gold look today, because I just think it would go really nice with this blue, this like bright blue dress. So I'm gonna use just burnt orange. I've already used it once, but I want to just add a little more warmth, and I will add even more in just a moment. And like I used to be, well, I still kind of am. I'm like pretty scared of color still. Like putting too much shadow on the lid and getting it like too bright. Like when I first started practicing with eyeshadows and things like that, you could hardly see like the look that I was going for, because I used such a light hand, and I would like just barely tap in there and then tap off every like the tiniest little bit that I got on the brush to begin with. I would tap it off, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, that looks okay, you know. But it didn't, like you couldn't even see it. So I'm practicing like really going in a lot more with my brush, then tapping off the excess and then going in, and I feel like you can actually see the color. So baby steps, people. Now I'm gonna go in with Real Gar. I don't know if that's how you say it, but this one right here, this more orangey shade. And I'm going to keep it a little bit lower in my crease there. And I'm mainly gonna deposit all of the color from my brush, so it's pretty clean at this point. And then I'm gonna use any excess that is still left on there and sweep it through the crease, but I'm still gonna keep it low, as I said. I learned this from NYX tutorials. I know a lot of people do it, but that's just who I saw it from. I like to go in with a clean brush. This is the 120 BH Cosmetics brush, and just kind of light-handedly just blend that with our transition shade. I don't want to go too much, because then it will bring up that color, and we want dark down low. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. And it just brought such a like deep warmth. I love it. Now, what do you call this? Slacking. Come on, girl. I'm gonna go with Primavera on the lid. That is this beautiful gold shade. I have seriously been loving that one, you can tell. I'm just gonna get this right on the lid here, not too far out, because we are gonna blend a darker shade there. I mean, look at that. I mean, freaking look at that. I know this is old news. Everyone already loves Modern Renaissance palette. I'm not trying to turn you on to it. I just wanted to make this video for my friends and family who have been liking my makeup recently. Now I'm gonna pack on a little more, because I want to be extra today. We're going to Target, people. See how beautiful? I mean, look at the way the way it just moves in the light. It's so pretty. Now, I'm gonna go back in with my blending brush. I use like the same blending brush for my entire eye. I know that's so bad. I always like wipe it on my arm just to get the excess off. Whatever. So I'm gonna grab the slightest bit of Cypress Umber because this color, you guys, it's intense. Like, it's for real. You see that? She's there, honey. She's there. And I'm just gonna keep it right there in that corner and just blend it into that gold so it's nice, gradual. So pretty. And this is gonna be a look that you can do if you don't have fake eyelashes, if you are still a beginner. I don't have any. I'm still a beginner, as I said. I don't have any fake lashes to put on after this. I'm not super great at winged liner yet, but of course, if you want to go there, like, I know that this look would look even better with winged liner and what? With winged liner and fake eyelashes, false eyelashes. So you do it, girl, and it'll look better than mine. I'm going in with this little kind of more flat angled brush and get some Vermeer, which is this more champagne-y, shimmery shade. Not so much as a gold as Primavera. Just get it on the brush, just a tiny bit, because this stuff is serious. And just highlight my brow bone. Blend her out, just like that. Nice. When it hits the light, I feel like it brings up my eyeball. My eye. What is it? A freaking eyebrow. And throw it in my inner corner. I love Vermeer for the inner corner. I feel like it brings such a brightness there. I mean, look at that. I'm gonna go in with this. It doesn't have a label either. It looks like this. It's pretty tiny, and it's good for the lower lash line, which is what I'm gonna do right now. I'm basically gonna go through the steps that I went with on my eyelid and throw them under my lower lash line. And you can be a little, not like sloppy, but like a little bit loose with the first colors, the raw sienna and burnt orange that we used, because you want that one to be the most smoky. And then everything else, all the darker shades, we're gonna keep tighter towards the lash line. I'm gonna use Real Guard. I'm gonna keep it tighter. Not so smoked out and far down. And now, the last step for the eyeshadow is I'm gonna bring Cypress Umber just the tiniest little bit again. And I'm gonna just bring it pretty much to just halfway, basically where my pupil is. I'm gonna keep it super tight on the lash line. So I'm gonna go in with roller lash, I think, just to be safe. See, I think it looks fine without fake lashes and liner. I kind of like it without fake lashes because you can really see like all the work that I just did, you know? Now I'm gonna go with some lip color. What I've actually found out last night, I don't have very many lip products right now because I'm still building. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that. But let me show you what I figured out. Okay, so all I did just now is just take off the foundation that was on my lips because I have this NYX Lingerie in satin ribbon, and it's too light. It's just too light on me. It looks like it would be okay, but it's really not. She's not okay. So what I like to do is, after I have just freshly taken my foundation off of my lips, I like to add this right in the center. And and basically just leave it at that. Like if you can see, I think it makes my lips look even bigger because this part in the middle here is lighter and highlighted. But the rest out here is darker because it's just my natural lip color. But it's still very light on the lips. I'm using the highlighter from the Makeup Revolution palette, the blush palette. I'm gonna use the one over top of this peach shade that I use for my blush. I don't know if you can see, there we go. And I just like to apply it with my finger, a little on my nose. Cute as bow. This is the final look. I'm gonna spritz it with a little bit of setting spray. And a trick I've learned from Laura Lee is after you use a setting spray, go ahead and pat it in with your beauty blender, and it really melts all of those powders into your skin and just makes you look very flawless. Still dewy, but very natural. So yeah, this is the final look. I hope you like it. I hope maybe someone tries it for themselves if you have the Modern Renaissance palette. If you don't, if you have any palette but it has similar shades in it to the ones that I used, try it. And yeah, I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really nice with this pop of blue on my dress. If you guys liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like me or my videos, I know I don't have a ton up yet, but I'm working on it. If you like anything that I am doing, feel free to subscribe. Anyone's welcome. And leave any comments or questions down below that you have. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.